So, this is going to be an interesting game to talk about. I played this game long ago, and I only played a small sample of it. And when I talk to people who played Super Mario Sunshine, some say it's a great game, some say it's okay, many have very mixed feelings on it, and there were a select few that said it was the worst Mario game, barring a couple of games. So I had to try out the game again, and here we are. Before we start with the game itself, Sunshine has a story, and oh boy. Mario, Peach, and her advisor Toadsworth are tired of keeping Koopas and Goombas away from the kingdom and decide to take a vacation to the Isle Delfino, the home of the biggest assholes in any video game. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold a single punch. I hate the Piantas. Okay, not everyone is a complete jerk, but a good 95% of them are either dumb, ignorant, useless, or flat out rude. And it all starts in the first part of the game. The plane is stopped by a giant glob of goop and Mario is sent to find help. He then finds a device that calls itself Flood.
A flash liquidizer ultra-dousing device.
And with its help, the goop is defeated, a shiny object appears, and Mario takes it with absolutely no questions. Afterward, Mario is arrested for polluting the island, with only one piece of evidence, no eyewitnesses, and a lack of common sense. They force Mario to clean the entire island, even when the real culprit, a gooey-like doppelganger with a paintbrush, is seen in plain sight with the real Mario. These people just suck. But the Shadow Mario is actually Bowser's son, Bowser Jr., who for some reason is convinced that Peach is his mother.
Mama, Peach? I'm your mama?
Peach actually believes this. I mean, I never questioned that she and Bowser did it, but you'd think she remembers something as odd as actually giving birth to something like... Okay, time to stop this. They head to Corona Mountain and hide for the rest of the game, which is more than half of the game, mind you. I hate when stories just abruptly pause for a long time until the final parts. It kind of destroys the flow. Though, really, it's not a great story anyways, it's just here for being a story, which is fine, I guess. But nothing of interest happens outside of Bowser Jr. being a spoiled brat and, that one part. Every other time, it's interacting with these assholes. Seriously, if I hear any of them talk about me being the bad guy, I'll flood the entire island. I warned them. No! Though I will say, the places you go to are pretty nice, though not much in variety. Beaches and villages are about the extent of what you'll see, and the only times that it changes up are in the secrets in the game. Is it really a secret if the game blatantly tells you about it? Anyway. The music pieces are just about as varied as the levels themselves, mostly being remixes of Isle Delfino, Calming Ambience, and the 10th Super Mario Bros. Remix in the series up to this point. The game looks great overall though. Models are a bit shiny, but it's only a small notice, and the models are really nice for this game. It's neat to see Mario wearing a short-sleeved shirt or Peach in a ponytail. It's stuff like this that make the game unique. Speaking of unique, let's talk about the control along with the new addition, Flood. When we're talking about actual control, Mario plays like a dream. In almost every way, he's way more acrobatic than he was in 64, though the long jump is gone for some reason and you can only use the backflip with Flood equipped, which is kind of limiting actually. Flood, however, makes up for it immensely. He can be used as a water gun with many ways of squirting water, though some techniques are easier than others. And you can use Flood as a makeshift jetpack to make platforming easier. I like that. And you can also use different nozzles in the form of the rocket and turbo nozzles. And they are massively underwhelming. You can only have one nozzle at a time, and the hover nozzle is always replaced. Which I'm not sure why we can't have all the nozzles be upgrades to Flood, instead of being replaceable power-ups. It couldn't break the game too much, can it? And really, the rocket and turbo nozzles, like the Cats in 64, are super situational. In fact, I'd say more than the Cats, because I only found 4 or so uses for the rocket nozzle, and only 2 for the turbo nozzle. If anything, I'd like to avoid getting these nozzles if possible, so I can have the better control with the hover nozzle. In fact, while we're on the track of negatives, let's talk about the collectibles, shall we? Shine Sprites. They are said to be the guardians of Isle Delfino, 120 in total as far as we're concerned. Because the place is polluted, they are scattered between the many landmarks of the island. Some are hidden in particular places, the point A to point B approach, which is something I really like. But then there are boss fights, which, for the most part, are pretty bad. I thought the Wiggler kind of dragged, Mega Bowser felt pretty cheap at times, Mouth and King Boo were tedious, and I'm not gonna lie, the final fight with Bowser tended to be either pretty easy or pretty frustrating. I never had a collision problem like this, and I kept clinging to the debris when I wanted to use the rocket jump. And I guess having the rocket nozzle being required soured the fight as well. But that's not all. We also have the return of the red coin challenges and the 100 coin challenges. Now, to be fair, some of them aren't too bad, but outside of those two, these challenges can frick right off. You know why I wasn't a fan of them in 64, and they managed to make them worse here. Especially the 100 coins. Coins are very limited unless you pick the right episode. Red and blue coins have no value in terms of the coin counts anymore anyway, and they take forever to do. I only did one challenge, and it was in Bianco Hills, the first level of the game, and guess what? It sucked! I can only assume how it would go with stages like Rico Harbor or Serena Beach, stages with super limited coins to begin with. Sure, there are times where you can grind coins, but that gets really boring super quick. I expect this kind of thing in an RPG, not a platformer, so you can see why I don't really bother. And the red coins are similar, only they can be super spread out or be obnoxious to collect. For secret shrines, they aren't too bad. In fact, they're just standard Mario platforming. Though having the time limit for red coins make them a bit of a pain in the butt to do. And I'll defend two that everyone seems to not like. I found the Sandbird to be really relaxing, and moving while it was turning wasn't such a big deal. And if I did fall off, I could just hang out on the clouds and listen to the beautiful music. And am I the only person that didn't really find the Chuckster Shine all that bad? I mean, tight precision and timing is key for this shine, but I really never found it to be a problem. In fact, I think I only died once. Maybe I was lucky, but I didn't think it was the worst part of the game. If you wanted horrible shines though, look no further than the episode 8 shines. Bianco Hill has the 8 red coins in different altitudes, meaning a fall will result in more time wasted. Rico Harbor has you using Yoshi to turn these fish into platforms, but Yoshi needs fruit in order to get out of his egg, and here he wants a durian, a fruit that you can't pick up. And it's hard enough to get it to appear from this machine. Oh, and he's allergic to water apparently, so you have to do it all over again if you fall off. That's real fun, right? Gelato Beach has the Watermelon Festival. You know this one, the easily poppable melon with the billions of cataquacks in the way to burst it. Oh man, the person who made this has a real nice seat in hell reserved for him. Peanut Park has the balloon popping minigame with no cursor and horrible depth perception. This took me a few tries to get to, and I swear the time that I won, it was pure dumb luck. Serena Beach has more red coins, and they are way more spread out than they were in Bianco Hills. In Noki Bay, the Nokis are so grateful for your help in bringing them back to the island, so they reward you with a coin fish that is made of normal and red coins to collect. And it scatters around at certain points, making it drag out longer than it needs to. And Pianta Village has the Floss Festival. Never tried it, don't plan to. But the worst shines are held in the isle itself. But before I start, must I point out that a third of the residents is holding their guardians hostage? Sometimes it's for a favor, sometimes it's for a minigame where they treat their important guardians like prizes, and a fifth of the shines are held by these assholes. You remember the blue coins I briefly mentioned? Well, here, they're used as currency for these guys. I love how Mario's being treated as a criminal even if the evidence says otherwise, and these assholes are getting off scot-free for selling a large chunk of their life source like crack cocaine. And Isle Delfino has several of these people living in it as well, like this guy who wants you to break boxes for 2 shine sprites he has in his possession. Why these guys aren't being arrested, I'll never know. And I really feel like this guy knows this shine sprite is here. I just know it. Now let's get to the lowbrow shines. There's the lily pad shine, which is certainly one to be hated. Do you like grabbing coins on a flowing poisonous river that is irritating to backtrack on if you miss anything? No? Well, you'll certainly break the game because this is nothing but bull. But that shine has nothing on the pachinko machine. I say the lily pad was 90% luck, but I swear this shine is pure luck. You barely have any influence on where you want to go, so you're going to be forced into a lot of bad situations, and you will die if you make a slight mistake. Oh, you finally got that shine sprite after 6 attempts? It'd be a shame if you just missed it on your last ooh, whoops! Sorry, try again next time. Screw you, there'll be no next time. Oh boy. Collecting the shine sprites in this game, 95% of the time, is far from what I call fun. Collecting the blue coins is such a tedious chore. The boss fights are either tiring or frustrating. The Piantas are dicks. Chasing Shadow Mario 8 times gets boring super quick. Some standalone shine sprites are in the dumbest of places. Straight up confusing at certain points. Why are we taking a shine sprite from the place it's supposed to be? Other than all that, there are things in this game that I can classify as fun though. I do like the Il Piantissimo races, since they remind me of the Koopa the Quick stages in 64. I think a couple of fights are fun, like Petey Piranha and Gooper Blooper. And hell, most of the secret shines are good old platforming fun. But everything else leaves me feeling either frustrated or just indifferent. I can't exactly say I'd recommend Super Mario Sunshine, and even if you want to try it out, don't even think about 100%ing this game. Beating it normally is reward enough if you ask me. You get a sweet cutscene with Mario, Peach, Flood, Bowser, and Bowser Jr., and while I hate the Piantas and how they work in this obnoxious plot, it's great to see their home go back to normal and seeing them dance the day away. So if you don't mind Nintendo, let's just get a sequel so we can just nuke the damn island with everyone on it.
Straight that way. You can't miss the mess, pal. Your first job's to get rid of all that ugliness. And remember, we'll be watching you, pal. We'll know if you start flying.
I'm sorry if I came off a bit bitter on that last part, but this game really got to me. And to the people who like this game, more power to you. I guess you find something that I couldn't, but that's just how I felt. I don't like Sunshine, and I really hope I don't feel anything similar to Galaxy. But, with all that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night, and may God have mercy on my soul.